Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. Today it is another in my series about Bronze Age horror, and I've not talked about this one before. This is a series called The Unexpected. It starts with issue 105, and I'll come back to why it starts with issue 105 in a second, and it runs through to issue 222, runs from 1968 right through to 1982, so almost covers the complete Bronze Age. Okay, now why does it start out at issue 105? Well, because before issue 105 it had a slightly different title. So it was originally called Tales of the Unexpected. And Tales of the Unexpected started in 1956 as a response to the introduction of the Comic Code Authority. So when the Comic Code Authority came along, basically horror comics were effectively banned. So DC created a science fiction title, which was allowed, called Tales of the Unexpected. And that ran for 105 issues from 1956 through to 1968. I will cover the Tales of the Unexpected in a future video, because I actually do have quite a lot of issues of Tales of the Unexpected. But that is not what we're covering here. We are covering the Bronze Age horror title called The Unexpected. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit, as I'm going to show you the first one. There we go. You can see this sort of V-shaped, unexpected trade dress here. Doesn't last for that long. Basically we're getting the introduction of a new editor along with a change in the direction for the title. So it goes from being science fiction to what they call suspense stroke horror. So it effectively becomes a horror anthology comic in 1968, basically alongside House of Secrets and House of Mystery. The editor for 10 years on this title, from 1968 right through to 1978, is a guy called Murray Boltinoff. Now Murray, also during this period of time, was editor on The Witching Hour, I think from 1971 to 1978. So for quite a lot of time here, he was editor on 2 of the Bronze Age horror titles, and he does a pretty good job. He's Murray. He's worked for DC a long time. He was responsible. He was editor of My Greatest Adventure when it introduced Doom Patrol. And I think this 10-year stint on The Unexpected was Murray Boltinoff's longest editing stint. So here we go. In 1968, we have the first issue of The Unexpected. Great cover by an artist called Bob Brown. This is the only Bob Brown cover you're going to see, and I think he's pretty good. Obviously, Murray didn't want to use Bob Brown anymore, so that's the last we see of Bob Brown, but I actually quite like that cover. Now, there are 118 issues of The Unexpected. I've got quite a lot of them. I'm going to rush through them. I'm going to show you most of them, and I'm going to talk about some of the interesting ones, because there are 1 or 2 interesting ones. So here we go. We've got the next issue, which is a 106. And here the artist is, again, I really like this cover. We see this guy once more about 8 years on. This is a Howard Purcell cover. Okay. The Unexpected, number 106. And you'll see here, we've got a character called Johnny Peril. Now, he disappears as well. Johnny Peril is an old Golden Age character, originally called Mr. Nobody. who appeared in Comic Cavalcade in 1942. He is going to, believe it or not, he is going to reappear towards the end of The Unexpected. Right, next up, again, we've got another Johnny Peril cover. Now we have got Jack Sparling. So now we are Johnny Peril and Jack Sparling cover. Another great cover. I think we're starting off here really well with these three first covers by three different artists. Again, we now have number 108, and this again is a Jack Sparling cover. Now, okay, this is one of my favourite covers from the run. Again, it is Jack Sparling, a really sort of eerie green cover. I actually quite like this unexpected trade dress with it looking like an arrow. That doesn't last that long. In fact, I think that was the last issue with that particular trade dress. So it only lasted about 6 or 7 issues. Right, then we get another trade dress which lasts 1 issue, and we get the introduction of a cover artist that is basically going to be the main cover artist for this title for the next 6 or 7 years. Okay. And of course, it is the great Nick Cardy. Okay, don't get attached to that trade dress because it's only around for 1 issue. This is from 1968. This is Nick Cardy's first cover on The Unexpected, and it's an absolute cracker. We've got a witch, we've got a Wheel of Destiny, Wheel of Misfortune, cracking Nick Cardy, and he now becomes the main artist here. We've got a very stable team now for the next 6 or 7 years on this title, with Murray Boltinoff doing the editing. We've got Nick Cardy doing the art, and internally, it doesn't get talked about as much. There's a writer called George Kashdan that does quite a lot of the writing for this particular title. Right, so now the trade dress is going to change again. This is number 117 from 1969, and this trade dress sticks around for a bit. So here we go. This is Nick Cardy again from 1969. You're going to hear Nick Cardy a lot, okay? Right, so having established Nick Cardy as the main cover artist on this, the next issue is not Nick Cardy. It's one of the few Neal Adams covers on The Unexpected. So here is Neal Adams, and this is his first artwork on The Unexpected. And there are not a lot of Neal Adams art on The Unexpected. In fact, I think there's only 2 or 3, and they're all coming up. We get no Bernie Wrightson. As far as I can see, there are no Bernie Wrightson covers on The Unexpected. Here we go, because we've switched back to Nick Cardy. Neal Adams and Nick Cardy appear to be doing a double act here. This one is Nick Cardy on issue 120. Now we're switching back to Neal Adams. This is 1971, and that is our second Neal Adams cover. Love this cover, and this is neither Nick Cardy or Neal Adams. I thought this was Adams. It's not. The artist credited with this is Dick Giardino, and Dick Giardino does do a fair amount of art on this, effectively as an inker later on. Next up we have, I think this might be the last Neal Adams cover we're going to see. There you go. I think that is the final Neal Adams cover, or certainly the final one I've got. This is from 1971. Mainly now it's going to be Nick Cardy. And here we go. Nick Cardy here on issue number 125. Nick Cardy again. Well, I'm just going to assume these are Nick Cardy, unless I say otherwise. Yeah, these are all Nick Cardy. Very stable team going on here. I love this cover. This is one of my favourite Nick Cardy covers on this run. Look at these two pale-faced individuals here, really good. I mean, you cannot go far wrong with Nick Cardy as your main cover artist. I mean, the guy was prolific. He was also doing work on other Bronze Age horror titles as well as other DC stuff. I mean, a real workman for DC, and the quality of his work just never ceases. I mean, here we've got a fantastic piece of artwork on this cover here in number 132, The Edge of Madness, with a creature looming in the window. I suppose it's a bit like House of Secrets 92, I suppose. But there we go. Again, another great Nick Cardy cover. Nicky's doing this for until about 1975. Here we got a great crocodile cover. Now, when I collect these, I generally collect these by two or three methods, really. I haven't been collecting these as single issues. I generally buy lots in auction, and I do end up some duplicates, which I then sell on my Whatnot. I do buy up issues, so I will have gone round the London Comic Mart and looked for issues of The Unexpected, and a few of these did get picked up at the London Comic Mart. However, out of the 118 issues of this, I think I've got something like 890 to 100. So I'm down to the stage whereby I really need to go out and buy single issues. Some of the issues that I've got here are not in a very good grade. So when you buy them in that sort of way, some of them are good grade. I've got some really high grade ones. Some of them are really low grade that I do need to upgrade. And here is a really low grade one. This is issue number 137, probably in a 30, 2530. Again, it's Nick Cardy. I need to upgrade that one. You know, but that's, again, I'm not going to tell you who the cover artist is because you know, another great Voodoo cover from Nick Cardy. Now at this stage, everything is cents. These are all cents copies. Around about issue 183, we get the introduction of some DC UK price variants. There are only about 15 issues. I've got a couple, which I'll show you later on when I get into the 180s. Again, Nick Cardy, number 140, Nick Cardy, and this great puppet one here, again, Nick Cardy. So Nick Cardy is effectively, I mean, Murray Boltinoff got an easy job really. At this stage, he just gives everything to Nick Cardy. Look at this one. This is a cracker. This is from 1973. Look at that. Brilliant cover. This is number 145. What beautiful flowers you grew. May I have one. Great stuff. Another one. This is in nice condition. Marry Me in My Grave. Right. Nick Cardy generally leaves some form of signature on his covers. So if you look closely, quite often you'll see a little NC. This one's great fun because the way he has signed this one, can you see the kid has got building blocks saying "You will die," but two of the building blocks down here are the letters NC on the block. So there, that is effectively Nick Cardy's signature on the cover. Good fun. Well done, Nick. Again, Nick Cardy, brilliant stuff. This is a great snowman cover, number 150. We've got a dead body in a snowman. I've sold a couple of duplicates of this. I've sold a duplicate of this on my Whatnot show last weekend and actually got another duplicate. And I sell the duplicates, so I might sell these duplicates. You know, they're in mid-grade, mid-to-low grade. I sell them for about £3, which is a deal, to be honest. Because if you went out to try and buy these, they'd be at least £5 to £10 each as individual issues. Number 152, Dark Secret of the Swamp. How this guy kept coming up with great new covers, different. Every single month. Here we go, Unexpected, for nearly 6 or 7 years. Unbelievable. And remember, he was doing covers for other titles at the same time. It's not as if he was just working on the Unexpected. Here we go, a great ventriloquist doll cover. Right, okay, now the next few are some of my favourites because they are in such high grade. I was lucky enough to pick up some comics from a dealer who died, who used to sell really high grade stuff, and I picked some up in auction, and these particular ones were in there, and they are the 100-page Giants. And this one is number 157. This is indeed Nick Cardy again, and which shows pictures of 3 stories. This one's interesting. It shows pictures of 3 stories on the cover. Yep. Who Will Kill Gigantus, The Abominable Snowman, and The Thing from the Dead Letter Office. It then says here, 10 more sensational tales of spine-chilling suspense. So, this should have in it 13 stories. It doesn't. It only has 12. So this should say 9 more stories. And in fact, there is an Australian reprint of this, and they actually changed this tagline here to say 9 more so that it is correct. So there you go. That is quite an interesting one, and it's in really high grade. Look at the spine on that. The guy had originally priced these sort of comics up at 70 or 80 quid each, and I don't think he was far off, because finding these 100-page specials like this in this condition really hard. Okay, we've got another of the 100 pages. This is from 1974. It's number 158. It's Nick Cardy again. Number 159. Right, this one has got 3 on the cover again, and it says 10 more inside. Well, actually, inside there's only 12 more. There's only 12 stories listed. So again, this one has got the wrong number of additional stories on it. Sorry, DC. And then this one is in absolutely amazing condition. This is number 161. Again, Nick Cardy. Now this time it's got 2 stories shown on the cover, and it says 10 additional, which gives you 12. In fact, inside there are 14 listed stories. So they've got it wrong again. Again, this is Nick Cardy. Right. Okay, guys, we have got a different cover artist, and from now on, we're now in 1975, so we're 6-7 years in. Nick Cardy, I think that might be your last Nick Cardy cover. So, who are we handing over? Who now becomes the main artist for the next 4 or 5 years on this title? Well, who can you get to replace Nick Cardy but the great Louis Dominguez? Yeah, here we go. Here's his, I think this is his first cover in the title. This is a lowish grade. I need to get this upgraded. But that is Louis Dominguez taking over effectively from Nick Cardy as the main cover artist on The Unexpected. And we're going to see a lot of Louis Dominguez covers now. Again, Louis Dominguez. This is issue number 168 from 1975. Maury Boltinoff still editing. There's some great Louis Dominguez covers here. I do need to upgrade a couple of these. This one is lowish grade and the cover is detached, but a great Louis Dominguez cover. Number 173, a dog where safe, honey, there must be life on this island. I think you might be in trouble. Number 174, again, Louis Dominguez. Nick Cardy's gone off somewhere else. And he's getting a break, a well-deserved break from the unexpected. Well, it's not a break, I don't think he comes back. Right, now, you may remember one of the earliest artists we saw on this title was Jack Sparling. Here he is, back again. This is a Jack Sparling cover. I love this one. Welcome to Camp Roy. I'm your head counsellor, and here are your fellow campers. Jack Sparling cover. Right, next up, and this is our first Ernie Chan cover. This is from 1977. It's the Gumball Machine. Gumball Machine cover from Ernie Chan in 1977. Now then, this is probably my favourite Louis Dominguez cover from The Unexpected. Absolute stunner. That is The Unexpected, number 178, Louis Dominguez. Next up, another great Louis Dominguez cover with a sort of feral cat-like child. Really good, very nice. You know, if you're going to hand over from Nick Cardy and then you're handing over to Louis Dominguez, you're not going far wrong, are you? So Unexpected number 183. We've got through to 1978 now. So Murray Boltinoff been editing here for nearly 10 years. It's going to come to an end shortly. 1978, we've got another of these wheels of misfortune here. We got a very similar cover to this earlier on, but this is a Louis Dominguez cover. And again, Louis Dominguez, 1978. Okay, now, everything has been very stable, and things are going to start changing in a minute. There we go, Louis Dominguez, again, 1978. Louis Dominguez again in issue 188. Now then, goodbye Murray Boltinoff. 10 years on the title, great job, thank you very much. He is replaced by a guy called Jack Harris as editor, but we do continue with the great Louis Dominguez as the main cover artist. This is a fantastic cover. Just look at the detail on the house and everything, a brilliant cover here. This is a 68 pages and it includes Witching Hour and House of Secrets. This is a great issue. Right, then we've got, right, here we go. Now at this stage we've got Jack Harris as editor, but Joe Orlando is given credits as managing editor. Now Joe Orlando for me is the best Bronze Age horror editor. He is the editor on House of Mystery, and he also edited House of Secrets for a period of time. So, and he's now managing editor here on The Unexpected, and here he's doing the artwork. So this is our first Joe Orlando cover on The Unexpected. I think it's the only Joe Orlando cover on The Unexpected. I could be corrected on that, but there are not a lot of them. And we are back to Louis Dominguez in issue 196. Right, not far to go now, guys. We are not far to go. Again, Louis Dominguez, Oh, these are some I missed earlier. These are from 1975. They must have fallen over. Yeah, I missed a few out from earlier. Yeah. Okay, so we are up to... Where did we get up to? Yeah, there we go. Those... Yeah, sorry guys. Those a couple of issues out of sequence. Right, Unexpected number 186 from 1978. Again, Louis Dominguez. This is a great cover from 1980. Louis Dominguez You're a fabulous writer. How do you make your vampire tales so believable? That, my dear, is a secret which you will soon find out. Right, here we go. Anybody like to guess who this artist is? One issue. This artist does one cover for this title. This is Jim Starlin. There you go. There is the one Jim Starlin cover on The Unexpected. Well, it's the only Jim Starlin cover I've got. He might have. I've got some issues I haven't got. He might have done those, but I don't think he did very many. Luis Dominguez again. Luis Dominguez. And here we have Ross Andrew doing the pencils and Dick Giordino doing the inking. Now we get quite a lot of this now. So what happens here is we get quite a lot, or two artists on the covers, and it's quite often somebody with Dick Giordino, with Dick doing the inking. Here, for example, this cover here, which I really like, this is Jim Janes doing pencils and Dick Giordino doing inks. This one, we are back with Giant Rabbit cover, which is great. That's Luis Dominguez. Right, here we go. We do get some Mike Kaluta. Mike Kaluta does a lot of work on some of the other Bronze Age horror series, particularly Weird War Tales. Here we go. This is our first Mike Kaluta cover that we've seen. This is from 1980. And I think this is our first Joe Kubert cover. Now, Joe Kubert does quite a few covers now, 1981, 1982. Towards the end of the run, Joe Kubert comes in and does a reasonable number of covers. You can't go wrong with Joe Kubert. I mean, look at this one here. Absolute stunner. That's the first one I've got for Joe Kubert on The Unexpected, and what an entrance. Absolutely fantastic. Right, now then, we get a very strange thing that occurs now. You will remember way back, probably half an hour ago, when we were at the start of this run, I mentioned a guy called Johnny Peril, who appeared in a couple of the earlier issues. Okay, if you remember, I said that he was a character who had previously known as Mr. Nobody and appeared in Comic Cavalcade, issue number 19 in 1942. Well, here we are about 10 years later, and Jack Harris, who I think is editing, decides to bring back Johnny Peril. There you go. And for about 10 issues in The Unexpected, we get Johnny Peril. Okay, this is Jim Janes and Dick Giordino cover art. We'll get another one. This is this is Jim Janes and Bob Smith cover art with Johnny Peril. This one is Rich Buckler and Steve Mitchell. Now we're really changing it up. Remember, we had about 40 or 50 issues where it was just Nick Cardy. Here we're getting virtually a new artist every single week. Here it's Rich Buckler and Dick Giordino in 1981. And again, we have got Buckler and Giordino here on issue number 210. A nice sort of vampire gorilla. Unexpected number 211. It's Buckler and Giordino again. And here we go. This one is Mike Kaluta. Was that our second Mike Kaluta cover? I think it is. There you go, a nice Mike Kaluta cover. And then the last Johnny Peril. Does he ever appear again? Let me know if you know. I'd never heard of him before. Johnny Peril, that is the last Johnny Peril on The Unexpected. Goes on for about 10 issues. Again, Buckler and Giordino cover. Right, we are into the final few comics. Right, now I just showed you that one. That says 50 cents on it. This is the same one, but it says 15 pence on it. Now, they didn't do as much of this as Marvel did. but occasionally DC would do UK price variants. On The Unexpected, there are about 18 issues out of the 118 which have a UK price variant. Now, where I get when I get both a cent and a pence, I keep them both. For this issue, we've got a change of editor. Jack Harris, Dick Giordino becomes editor. How long does he become editor for? One issue. Here we go, 1981. This is the following issue. Dick Giordino hands over the editorship to Carrie Burkett. How long does Carrie Burkett last for? One issue. This is Joe Kubert. This is a Joe Kubert cover. Carrie Burkett editor for just one issue. Issue number 215. We've got great Joe Kubert cover again. And the editor is Dave Manak. Right, Dave Manak stays as editor until the end of the run, which is only less than 10 issues away. Okay, again, we've got the Joe Kubert standing in here and doing the majority of the artwork on the final issues of Unexpected. This is Ernie Colon and Dick Giordino cover, a really nice one with Abraham Lincoln as a spaceman. This is again Ernie Colon and Dick Giordino with a sort of, I don't know, monster alligator cover. This is another fantastic Joe Kubert cover. Love this one. I got this at the London Comic Mart, I can tell because of this label. Great cover there with a sort of little girl, a huge little girl looking at three spacemen. One of my favourite covers, we're coming right to the end now. This is issue number 220. It is Joe Kubert, of course, and there's a little kid obviously going to buy his comics at the newsstand, and there's a large green hand coming out from the newsstand. And then we've got a list of the stories that we're going to get in The Unexpected. Unfortunately, this is issue 220 and there are only 2 more issues to go. Here we are. This is issue 221. It's Joe Kubert again. I mean, why they're stopping this when they have got this run of great Joe Kubert covers, I do not know. And finally, I do have the last issue. It tells us that this is the last issue, which is at least good. It doesn't suddenly end. There is a warning it's going to end. There we go, the last issue of The Unexpected. I would like to point out a couple of the person that I haven't mentioned, and that is the colorist. On a lot of these final issues, probably the last 20 or 30 issues, the colorist is Tatiana Wood. This was Wally Wood's wife. He divorced her in the 60s. I think he married in the 1950s and divorced her in the 1960s. But after they separated, she became a colorist for DC and did a lot of color work for DC and did a lot of the color work on the last 20 or 30 issues that we're seeing there. Right, there you go. That is The Unexpected. Bronze Age horror ran from 1968 to 1982, 118 issues. Main cover artist Nick Cardy, Louis Dominguez, and right at the finish there, Joe Kubert. I think you'll agree, a great run. Is it my favourite? No, but it's up there. You know, when you've got Nick Cardy, Louis Dominguez, it's really good, and there are some great covers in there. I'm sure you'll agree. Right, that's your lot. See ya again soon.